the fastest man alive, the Scarlet Speedster, a title passed down over the years, with each generation seemingly faster than the last. But if they applied themselves, could they kill the rest of the world? Yes. But how? Saying the Flash has super speed would undersell the vast range of abilities at his disposal. For most of the civilian population, it's not a question of whether or not Flash could kill them, but what method he wants to use. As he gains speed, he also builds up momentum, enough of which can be used to deck fellow super beings with an infinite mass punch. If he picked up speed, running around the world, he could start slicing people into shish kebabs with a wave of his hands, punch the ground with the force of a small moon, turning cities to rubble before you could blink. If he moved at peak efficiency, he could probably clear out the major population centers before people had time to evacuate. But here is where he faces his first problem. The Flash would eventually catch everyone, but as Earth's population dwindles, tracking them is the hardest part. There's nowhere you can hide forever. His ability to vibrate his molecules allows him to move through walls and floors. Even the most remote underground bunker would provide no defense against the Crimson Comet. But in the commotion, with 8 billion targets, he's less likely to notice you sneaking down there in the first place. If he tries to demolish a city, rather than target people one by one, who knows how many survivors will hide among the rubble? He'd have to constantly phase through ruins, checking bodies, leaving no stone unturned. It's certainly doable, especially with his speed, but insanely tedious. Another method at his disposal would be instigating the apocalypse rather than doing it by hand. Say he grabs some dangerous viral concoction from a lab. Barry Allen is a forensic scientist by trade, so he'd have some knowledge of lab equipment. He could synthesize more of it and inject people with syringes before they even knew he was there. Target a few hundred people and let the virus do its thing. He could interfere with any attempts to create a cure or vaccine and let nature take its course. Even people hiding from him would be at risk from their friends and loved ones. The virus could get to the places he could not, spread worldwide silently. The rest he could just pick off himself. Earth has sat on the precipice of nuclear war for decades. If he knew the right people to manipulate and kill, he could steer us toward a thermonuclear winter. Or just steal the keys, speed into the silos, and activate them himself before anyone could stop him. Really, there's so many ways for the world to end, and the Flash is practically unstoppable when he really locks in. Wally West evacuated an entire city during a nuclear explosion, and outran death itself. The biggest challenge, assuming we're looking at the DCU, is the plethora of other superheroes that could stop him. Superman can almost reach the Flash in speed, so if he slowed down for a second, the Kryptonian needs but one good hit to take him down. Zatanna could place some hex on him while he's distracted with other heroes, turning his legs to chocolate pudding. Batman, assuming he had prep time, would figure out some way to kill him, even at top speed. Flash would have to be methodical, picking off the heroes one by one without rousing suspicion, taking them by surprise, leaving no trace of his involvement. He'd have to be one hell of a master manipulator, and to be honest, I don't think he's got it in him. For any individual hero, the Flash could make mincemeat out of them, grab a handful of kryptonite and shove it down Clark's throat before he had a chance to flinch, vibrate his hand through Wonder Woman's ribcage and force her heart to stop beating, steal the ring off a Lantern's finger before they have time to think. But when they unite, it's too much for him to handle all at once. So what's a speedster to do? Simple. One of the most powerful tools in the Flash's arsenal is the ability to time travel. While some superheroes have existed for centuries, most of the powerful ones came about in the 1900s and 2000s. Flash could pop back over to the 1100s, take out the handful of super beings who couldn't see him coming, and then blitz the rest of the world. If he really wanted an easy way out, he could just go back eons and run across the primordial soup, creating enough friction to kill the first life forms growing in there. Once again, His imagination is the limit.